Hello and welcome everyone. Danny Garola, Pink Barn Stamper, coming to you from Tucson, Arizona. We are here for another week of Make It Monday. We are featuring the Meant to Be. Now this class is from Monday, August 4th through Sunday, August 10th. So that means when you place any orders with me of $35 or more this week, I will send you the fabulous card kit that I am going to share with you guys today using the Meant to Be. Now this is a super cute set using everything about little bees. So if you love bees or beehives, this set is right for you. Okay, so what can we talk about today? So the weather has been super hot. We are like on a heat streak right now here in Tucson. It's just kind of one of those things. And we get used to it here in the summertime. I know a lot of you always share with me your weather is what's going on in your neck of the woods. And I love to hear from you guys. Also, we have had some crazy things going on in our home. So again, that is why I have decided to do this live, not so live for you guys. So it is actually Tuesday, the time that you guys are seeing this video, because we had one heck of a day on Monday. It is currently, I am working on this card kit right now with you guys here at 11 p.m. Pacific time, because we had a little hacky happen with my husband's accounts. So we have pretty much been spending the whole day contacting all of his accounts, getting everything back in order. Luckily, it was caught in the perfect amount of time. And the way that it kind of all started is a friend of his called him this morning that he hasn't really heard of in a long time and had said, "Hey, what's the deal with the weird name on Facebook?" My husband's like, what are you talking about? My husband hardly ever goes on Facebook unless he's with me doing our cards and cocktails on our Friday videos. But so this kind of was like a red flag to him. So he was like, okay, I got to figure out what my friend's talking about. So he goes to Facebook and he sees his name. I don't even know what the heck they named it. They've changed his phone number. They've changed his name in there. Everything else is the same. All of his photos are the same, but he has no way of changing anything on his Facebook profile. So he was super frustrated about that, but then he delved a little bit deeper and realized that other things had then been hacked. And as he was trying to go into things and check on them, he realized that this person had went in and changed all of his passwords, changed his phone number, by one digit. But nowadays, when you set up passwords and you try to do that password protection, you have to have it send you either to your email or send it to your like text messaging, a code that will then allow you to go in and change your password. Well, this person changed the phone number. So as my husband was in changing the password or trying to get that code, he kept waiting and he would never get the text message. So then we went in and we found out that the person had changed the number of his phone on his account by one digit, but that one digit clearly made it where he was not getting the codes from his text messages. So he can't change anything. And of course, you can't contact anybody because everything is now, what do they call that? Where it's all automated. So you can't talk to a live person. And so he immediately was on the phone with the banks and all the things. And we found out that they had tried to spend money and blah, blah, blah. But again, like I said, we had caught it in enough time that the banks had froze things where the money that was eventually going to come out of the account is now not going to come out of there. So needless to say, these people are not getting the things that they had ordered from these different websites that they went to, which, cool. I guess that's lose-lose for them, but whatever. But it's a pain in the butt for us because we've had to go through all these things to try to prove who we are And because phone numbers are changed in different websites and stuff, they're saying, well, the phone number doesn't match. Well, you're right, because the person changed it. How they changed it, I don't have any idea, but they did. And so it's just been one of those days. So, you know, you get frustrated, and my husband was getting frustrated because when he was trying to do all these things, one of the automated things kept cutting him off, because they're like, unless you have the serial number of blah, 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 this first item that you ordered when you were, you know, 15 or however old he was, it's just been one heck of a challenge. And so he like was about ready to explode, and you have to tell him, you know what, walk away from it from now. As long as you know that the bank is already aware of things, they're not going to let anything else come through. Things are frozen at the moment. So just get up and walk away. Go outside, water the garden. Go outside, talk to the animals. Do what you need to do besides exploding. Because unfortunately, us as humans, we always like don't mean to, but for the most of us, we take things out on our loved ones. And again, we don't mean to, but they're there. And of course, this has to happen on my husband's day off. So what a way to spend his day off. And the other crazy thing is, thank God it was his day off, because I could not imagine him being at work all day long, stressing over something like this and not being able to do anything until he gets home. That would be horrendous, because most things are closed on the East Coast, where a lot of these businesses are at. So there is our life in a nutshell. So now you know why I was not live Monday, and I had to do this and get it live to you guys on Tuesday. Just so you know that I didn't forget about you and that we are okay. Okay, so we have our farmhouse florals. This is our paper pumpkin for the month of August. So you can subscribe to this through August 10th. So you still do have a little bit of time through Sunday to get this fantastic kit. Don't forget that this kit also is going to include a free stamp set. So that's going to be 2 stamp sets in one kit for the month of August. Also, we have those fantastic add-ons. Don't forget to get this to go with your 3 months of the quarterly paper pumpkin. So it runs with it coordinates with the July, August, and September. But I will let you know that this die set can be a completely standalone die set. You've got this fantastic circle here. You've got some leaves, some flowers, and then you've got this really cool die right here that can either be a acorn or a strawberry. So it's one of those universal dies. And I love when they do things like that, because you really get the best of both worlds with that and not have to have a bunch of dies, you know, to keep track of. Then we've got the word hello. Isn't that so cute? It's very dainty and delicate. I just love it. This add-on is called the Circle of the Seasons. So just so you know, when you go to search that in the store. Now, those are all found in my online store at shopdannygarola.com. All you have to do is click that little shop button, and that will take you right in to my store, and you can view all the fabulous products that we have to offer for you. So here is the meant to be stamp and dies. As you can see, you get 5 of the hive shapes, but I will let you know that these hives are really kind of cool, that when you cut them out, you are going to get, with each of these, which I said was 5, you're going to get 5 different sizes of the frame, and you're going to get 5 sizes of the inserts with these. So you really get a lot for your bang there, because you are getting 10 dies out of these 5 dies. So you get 2 different shapes out of there, which is really kind of cool. You get a couple of words here. It says our hive, and then they've even gone as far as giving you the kind of the shadow background, so you could have something to layer those dainty little words on. And then this really fun little stamp set here is Love This Life, cute as can be, we are meant to be. And then you get to create these little bees, which also have the coordinating dies along with it. Now, the paper that they have included with this is just the cutest designs in this. Let me see if I can pull some of this out here. I have been playing with it, so I've got a lot of it cut up. But how adorable are these little bees here? So you've got the little bees carrying little flowers, and the other side is the petunia pop. Dainty little white daisies, I guess, on that. And then on this one, you've got the bees carrying the little hearts. And then the more of a gingham print using that petunia pop on the other side. Look at these little honey jars. Aren't those just adorable? And then you've got the little like buzzing of the bees. I guess it's not a sound, but the little tail swish of the bee on the green. And aren't those just the cutest little ones? And then you've got more of a dainty look on this one. And then you've got the little hearts. Then you've got some flowers with stripes. And then I think that's the one that we looked at in the beginning, right? Yep. And then, so you're going to get 2 of each of these. Oh, I didn't show this one. So this one is flowers with bees, because as you can see on this one, it's just flowers. Now on this one, you've got the flowers with the bees, and then the honeycomb on the back side in the old olive. So really, really fantastic paper. Again, you get 2 of each of those sheets to make up for 12. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is what the kit is intended to look like. So you will get 3 envelopes with your coordinating paper that you need for each one of your cards. And if I have included anything extra, which I will be using the deckled rectangles for one of these cards. So I will already pre-cut that piece that you're going to need. I don't intend for you to have the deckled rectangles as well. But in order to make the cards exactly as I'm going to show, you will have to purchase the meant to be. Unless you already have something similar to this already in your craft stash, then you can go ahead and use whatever you have, or you can improvise with, you know, something similar. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our first card. So our first card is going to use basic white. This is basic white thick, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and just give that a good crease there. So that is our card base. Let's get out the rest of our pieces here. So I've got a couple of pieces of our designer series paper. So I have got this piece here. This is going to be, now I'm going to have to cut it shorter because I didn't cut it down. I did do the width, but not the length. So this piece here is 1.5 by, we're going to cut this down to 5 1/4. No, we needed it 5.5, sorry. It's going to be the full length of our card base here. Okay, then we have a piece of Pool Party. Now this is 3/4 by, again, 5.5. And then we have that old olive little tail swish, whatever you want to call that. And this is 1 inch by 5.5. Okay, so we've got those. So what we are going to do with these is we are going to pretty much line those 2 up like so. But then I'm going to come in and I'm going to line this one up right behind that. So I only want a little bit of that pool, probably, I would say maybe, probably about a 1/2 inch of the pool party showing on the right side of the old olive. I think it's time to break open that new glue I have sitting there just staring at me. It's just dying to be used. So I'm gonna slide this over to my little ruler here. This grid paper is fantastic for lining things up because I can put this on this line and make sure I am completely lined up top and bottom. So I make sure that's nice and straight. Now I'm going to put some glue on the back of my pool party here. And then again, come in here, just kind of lining up this paper, this other designer series paper, with the edge of that paper there. So again, watching my line, I'm gonna follow that all the way up, and yep, I'm nice and straight on there. This can go over just a bit, but that is pretty good there. I'm also using a new product that this will come in your kit. This is the new Petunia Pop. Now this comes in the Sweet collection. You can buy it as a standalone, but it does come in that spooky, cute, new little Halloween set that we have in our online exclusives. So this is a Petunia Pop, but it is a iridescent ribbon. So as you can see, it's very shimmery and shiny. It's gorgeous. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab the length of this, and now this is going to run down the seam of my old olive and the pool party. So I need roughly, if this is 5.5, I need roughly about 6, we'll go 6.25 inches here. Just to make sure we've got enough hangover to tape that to the back side. So I'm just going to put that right along that seam there. And I'm going to tape, or we can actually, I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal. So let me just apply a little strip of that up there and towards the bottom, because then I'm just going to put that ribbon right inside of it. Tack that right to that. So holding that at that seam and then getting my finger unstuck, I'm going to press that in, pull that tight, but I'm not going to pull it so tight that it bends my paper. I'm going to let it lay flat, but then make sure it is taut against that paper, and then again put that down in that adhesive on the back. And then I'm just gonna run this down the sides. And then this, like so, is going to get placed right on the left-hand side of my card. So right against that scored edge. Okay, like so. Then we are going to take our bow maker and just make a pretty simple little bow here, if my fingers will work. Okay, let's go like that. Oh, you know what? I want a bigger bow. Hold on. That's awfully tiny. Yeah, I need to spread these out a little bit. I want a bigger bow, so now I need to cut this because I can use this bow for another project. Okay, that's, well, geez Louise. Really having a heck of a time with this bow tonight. Okay, we're going to cut that off. That is much better. That is exactly more of the length that I wanted. Let's get some of this jaggedness off of the top of that, and we're gonna cut this way. Beautiful. Okay, so now that we have that, we are going to come in with a scrap of petunia pop. Let's make sure I move the little bow out of the way so I don't accidentally grab that. And I'm going to use the second from smallest of the dies, and I'm going to cut that out of the petunia pop. So again, this is going to give me, and I will show you in just 2 seconds when I get this cut, you're going to see that it gives me 2 pieces from this one die, 2 images. Okay, so I've got this and the frame. So they will not be together when you cut them. They're going to cut apart. So I need that and the petunia. And then I need a piece of white scrap. And I don't think I put a piece of white scrap in here. No, I did put a piece of daffodil scrap in here. So then I'm going to come in with the smaller of the 2. And I'm going to run that through on a piece of basic white. Okay, and again, I'm gonna get both those pieces. Let me grab a little frame. Now, I'm not going to be using the frames for these, so I just save these for another project, because sometimes that saves me from having to cut out anything extra. So let's see here. I also need a scrap of the pool party. So let me set these aside, because we're going to come back to these little dies. And we are going to take our daffodil piece here, and I'm going to use the smaller of the 2. So if you look at this stamp set, you have a bigger bee and you have a smaller bee. Now, even though they're showing them facing different directions, you can turn that little bee, those little stripes and his little butt, and you can turn them whatever way you want them to face. Because with your dies, so you have the larger bee and you have the smaller bee, so I'm using the smaller one, you can take that little bee and you can flip it either way, depending on whatever way you stamp it. So you're not stuck with it having to go a certain direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this bee and I'm going to face him to the left. So let me grab my Memento Black. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ink up that and give that a couple of seconds to marinate. So I've got that. Then, oh, while I have this open, I need to take a little scrap, and I mean very little, so I just have this little scrap sitting here. And for his little antennae, I need to just stamp that. We're going to die cut that out as well. And then I need his little bee wings. So I'm going to take his little wings and I'm just going to stamp those as well. Oops, I don't like the way that that one turned out. So we're just going to stamp it again. There we go. That's better. And while we have this, why don't we go ahead and stamp in our little sentiment piece that I've chose here, and I am going to get the Cute as Can Be. I think this would be really cute for either like a baby card, or you can use this for a kid's birthday. Super cute. So I did it just a skosh down because I'm going to put that bee in the top corner of that. So that's going to sit there. So now what we need to do is close my ink so I don't wind up making a mess with that. And I am going to die cut these. So I'm going to go ahead and put my, now what I'm going to do is not use those scissors because we're not going to cut paper with my, those are my ribbon scissors. So I'm going to set this on here and grab my little bee and just kind of line that up like so, and grab some of my, well, I did have a couple of strips here. I'm just going to place that on there to hold my die in place so we don't have any shifting going on in our machine. And again, I'm just going to cut this out so I don't have so much crazy bulk going on in here. And now grabbing, again, you've got two different sizes of the little wings. So just grab the wings. And because I just took that off the roll, I'm going to kind of get some of the oils from my hands to make sure I don't rip my paper. Okay, I'm going to set that like so. And then what was the other thing we have here? We've got our little antennae. So again, you've got two of these. Now they're both the same size, but if you need to cut out more than one, it's kind of cool that they gave you two of those. And so that, and let me get another little piece of tape here. And go like so. And tape that down, and then we're going to run this through our Big and Boss. Okay, just ran that through. So now we've got all of our pieces here. And our little bee. Okay, there's our little antennae stuck to my plate there. So we've got to set these so we don't lose them. So I'm going to set those all together. There's our cute little bee body. Ooh, I've got black stuff all over my hands. Gross. Okay, so let's move that there, move this here. I am going to put my little dies back in here because they are kind of small. I don't need to lose anything, so we'll just go like that. Set those to the side. And then we are going to get our little bee together. But first, we have got the cutest little faces for these bees. You've got all three of these little faces. Just the cutest. And so I'm gonna grab the little wide-eyed little smiley face, stamp that just like so. I don't know what the heck just got all over everything. Yuck. Oh, it must be, you know what it is? It's because I brought this over, and look at the underneath of that. That's why. I don't pick up that plate very often, so that is what is all over the place. That makes sense. Okay, so now grabbing my glue, I'm going to come in here and just put a couple of little dots on the bottom of the wings. maybe if I can get my glue to work. Oh, we've got a cloggy here, a glue booger. Okay, like so. And I'm gonna take that and put that right underneath his little body here, cutest little thing. Okay, like that. And then again with the little antennae, I want to put a couple little dots of glue on that. And then the same thing, we're gonna tuck that underneath his head here, just like so. Adorable. Isn't that so cute? How you get to just build that adorable little bee. Ugh, I gotta get a baby wipe. My hands are gross. I feel like I'm gonna get black stuff on everything. Ooh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Too bad I can't wipe that off, huh? Don't think it's gonna work on paper. Okay, there we go. And we are going to, with this, I am going to grab some of my dimensionals. We're going to pop the white image onto our petunia pop. Maybe like so, right here on this image. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to come over here to our card and we are going to adhere that kind of, I wouldn't say right in the center, but I mean, I guess we could do the center. Now I have got a little goober of glue right here and it is going to drive me bananas, so it's got to go. So this is getting glued straight down. Just like so. Make sure we're straight-ish. And then our bee is going to go like that. So towards his butt, we're going to pop that side up and put just a little bit of glue on his front of his body. So we can glue that to our sentiment. Like that. Oh, so cute. Then we're gonna take our little bow with some glue dots and put a glue dot right on the center of that bow. And we're gonna take that bow and we're going to center it right on our ribbon, just like that. Isn't that the cutest? I love it. So we can take this bow and kind of turn it a little bit so you kind of see a little bit more of that bow element, just like that. And we can take, we've got some of these. Now they're not quite petunia pop, but we do have, let me see, where are they? Right here, we've got these little petunia pops. I thought I had a package of these open. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, those are petunia pop. Those might be cute, but I like these. That's strawberry slush. That's not gonna go. Okay, maybe I haven't opened these yet. We're gonna go with it. Now these are called the 2024-2026 in color flat pearls. Now starting today, we do have a sale. Shoot, I forgot to run off the paper for that. We have our in color products that are going to be going on sale. Let me pull that up. I forgot to share with you guys that. So it is over on my blog that you guys can see. It is, shoot, I just took it off of there. Okay, so it is the 2025-2027 in color sale. It runs from August 5th through the 31st. So it is a sale that's going to include inks, cardstock, designer series paper, embellishments, and other products that include these new in colors. So only products featured on the 2025-2027 in color page are included. So if you go to my blog, you'll be able to click on a button that is already, or a word that's in blue. There's a link there that's going to take you right to my store. And it says that this is your opportunity to purchase your new in colors at a discount. So it's fantastic if you haven't already grabbed some of these inks, refills, all that kind of stuff, the things that are in the in colors. Also with that two-tone cardstock that we have, good time to stock up on that as well in those in colors. Ooh, my eye is burning. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna grab some of these little petunia pop. I'm gonna put one right there, and I'm gonna put the other one right here. Oh, my eyeball is burning. Pause for 2 seconds so I can get my eye under control because it's starting to water like a sieve at the moment. Look like I'm sitting here crying like a baby, and I promise I'm not. Good thing you guys can't see me. Oh my goodness. Woo. Okay, so there's that. Let's get a piece for our inside. Let's make this inside of this card pretty also. So I think we might come in with some of these scraps. We can either use those cute little flowers on the inside, or we can use that green. I kind of like the green because I just think it's a little bit darker. That would be better on that. Now, if I can find that piece, I'm gonna find which one is the green buzzies. Oh my goodness, of course, it's the last piece that I'm looking for here. Isn't that the way it always works? So I'm going to grab the, let's go ahead and cut it this way. So I'm going to use, let's do 3/4. And we need this at 4 1/4 because the inside of our base is 4 1/4. Okay, we can take this. Oh, so cute. And that is, the flip side is the little yellow jars, the little honey jars. We're gonna add that right like so. And then we have a couple sentiments here. Let's see. Cute as can be, we were meant to be, life, or love this life. I think what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna take the little squigglies, little bee squigglies, and I'm just gonna do a set of that going across the top here. Okay, so let's grab this, and I'm going to actually, to protect this side, I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper here and just lay this right like so, and then just kind of take my little buzzy bee and just add that right like so. There we go. And then when I'm ready to write to my recipient, or whatever I decide that I'm going to turn this card into, because like I said, it could be a little, like a new baby card, it could be like a little birthday card, or it could be like to your sweetheart. That is cute as can be. And there is our first card. Isn't that adorable? Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to set that over here. Oh, now my nose is running because, of course, when your eyes water, it makes everything water. Okay, so now moving on to card number 2. So let me move all of this stuff out of the way, get myself a little bit organized so we can start with the next card and not have so much clutter. I mean, when you're stamping and doing your thing, I mean, it's kind of just the way it is things get cluttery. So now we are going to do this card. Now, this one has a neat little fold to it. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tell you guys the winner of last month's. So for the month of July, when you shop with me, your name gets put in a drawing. Now, however many times you shop with me is however many times you're going to get entered into my monthly giveaway for my customers. So, this month, I put everybody's name in there, however many times they shopped with me the month. And so I am giving away a pack of the Good Things cards and envelopes along with the Approaching Perfection stamp set. This is a red rubber stamp set. It does have the cling that goes onto it. This is going to Miss Bonnie Bletchell for the month of July. So thank you so much, you guys, for shopping with me. Thank you, Bonnie. This will get put in the mail for you, just so you know that I didn't forget. I was going to do that in the beginning and I forgot, so good thing I remembered, so I can get that in the mail to her and she can enjoy her new little stamp set and cards there. Okay, so for this card, this is going to measure 7 1/4. And then you're going to score it at your normal 4 1/4. And then that's going to leave, once you fold that and you do a good crease on that, one side of your card is going to be at 3 inches. So we're going to do this in a landscape style. And so I have a piece of the Daffodil Delight here. I also have a piece of white and a piece of Petunia Pop. Now this measures 4 1/4 by 3, and the white piece measures 2 3/4 by 4. So that's going to layer like so. Then we have a piece of that super cute little bees on here. This measures 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. This is going to layer right up top. And then I have another little layer that just kind of coordinates with that. That's that little striped piece. That measures 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to go down here on the bottom. So before we get started with all that, and this piece is to go on the inside of my card. So let's go ahead and get our layers adhered first. So this layer, I'm going to actually just open this card up so this can lay a little bit flatter. Now, if you wanted to, if you do have those deckled rectangles, you could actually use that in place of this. If you want something to have a little bit of a, like more of a shape to it, if you want to do a little bit of a decorated shape, I just kind of like the solid cut paper. It works for my card. And we're going to, or if you have any kind of rectangles, you could put that in place. It doesn't have to be the deckled. So this is that stripe piece here. And I'm going to lay that like so. So I'm not putting it all the way to the bottom. I am leaving the 1/4 inch all the way around it. Okay. So like that is what that is going to look like. But then you've got this little half flip. And then I need to measure my little white piece. Where did I put my white piece? Well, I did have it sitting here. There it is. I need to measure my white piece. I don't think that's going to be long enough. So let me grab. I need to have a piece that is going to be, where am I looking here? It needs to be 2 3/4 is my white piece. Where is, oh, there they are. So I need to cut my white piece at 2 3/4. Oops. Helps if I have the cutter blade. And this is going to go right up against my designer series paper, and that's what's going to fit right in that section. So typically I don't do the inside until the last thing, but because we are already adding pieces to the inside, why don't we just go ahead and complete it just like that. So when that shuts, you don't see that white piece. Okay, so now we're going to come over here, and I am going to grab the little stamp that has the flower, and I also need the little buzzy bee, and I have this cute little heart that I'm going to use also. Okay, so for the flower, I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to grab my little piercing mat here. Move that, move that. I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp. And this is just going to be rando, or as rando as you can get it. So have you guys watched any good shows lately? Anything that you guys can tell me that you think I should watch? I did watch Hunting Wives, which was a very recommended show. Pretty good show, I will say. It's on Netflix. It was cute. Or not cute. It was more of a, like a mystery. I don't know why I said cute. Because I'm looking at my card and all I see is cuteness, so. And then I'm going to use Petunia Pop for the little heart here. And I'm going to add some of the hearts to this. I'm gonna do one right here. Do one right there. Up here. That's gonna be too much. Then I'm gonna do one down over here on this bottom. And I'm gonna call that good. I'm not gonna go overboard with it because y'all know me and I like to go a little crazy and overboard and then it doesn't look good. So we're gonna call it good with just that. Okay, then I'm gonna come in with that little bee. And I'm going to put that right like, do I want it going that way or? Yeah, no, I want it this way. And so I'm gonna angle it where it is going just like so. And then with our, so I'm gonna set that aside. And then with our little Daffodil Delight, we're gonna come in with that. I think I'm gonna do, I was thinking I should do the bigger bee because I haven't done the bigger bee yet. Do we want the big bee? Yeah, the big bee will work. So let's do the bigger bee. So I'm gonna have the bee facing towards the right. So I'm just going to stamp that just like so. And then I want the bigger wings. But the bigger wings I'm going to do in, I'm gonna do those in, where did my card go? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna do the wings in the light, well, I could do them again in, I was gonna say we could do them again in the pool party, because we do have the pool party on this little bee. No, you know what? Keep thinking I want them in No, I'm gonna actually do it in the blue. That's right, because I think it's gonna look better with that. It's going to coordinate better. So let's grab the block for that, and let's stamp the bigger wings. And that means we're going to need another little scrap of white so we can do those little antennae. Just like so. Close those up. Have all my stamps over here, so I make sure I clean them when we're done. Again, I'm going to come in here and just kind of cut this out. Okay, there's that. That can go over there. We need this. So let me grab my plates without the bottom one that's going to get us all yucky. Okay, let's put this here. Where did my dies go? Of course, they're hidden. And, okay, I need the little antennae here. So we're gonna just line those up. Like that. And make sure we put our piece of tape on that to hold it. Then my bigger, need to make sure I grab the bigger of the wings. Like so. Tape that down. And then we're missing right here. We're gonna do that there. Let's grab our body. Okay, I think everything is good. So let's grab our plate, put our plate on top of that, and we're going to run that through. So let me run that. Okay, here's our bee body. Wasn't the bee body up here? Nope, the wings were up there. The bee body was down here. Gotta remember where all these things go. The wings. Now the wings were up here. And our little antennae, which are right here. So let's grab this little die, put it back on our sticky, move that aside. So now we've got all of our little pieces that we need here. So let's go ahead and adhere them together. Plates over there. Now we need to put a little face on this guy, and I think I'm going to do the other little face. I'm going to do the one that has the little smile on it as well, but the eyes are kind of more closed on this one. So I'm going to stamp right down there. Oh, so cute. There was this older stamp company. I think the company's still around, but I used to belong to they had a monthly stamp kit that they would do. And it was called Peachy Keen. And it had the cutest little character faces. I loved their stamp sets. Just the eyes, the little faces of their, and it was just faces. Like when you purchased their stuff, it was a whole sheet of different facial expressions. And I loved it because it was the cutest little things that you can stamp on everything and have just these amazing little expressions on your characters. Okay, so there is our little buzzy bee. He's just a little worker bee. All right, so let's take that off of there. And let's see where we're at here. We're going to place him just trucking right along there. So we're gonna put some dimensionals. Let him pop up. Okay, just like, well, let's glue this on there first, since that would be smart. Get ahead of myself. Okay, let's put that on there like so. Okay, now we're gonna pop up our bee. Be yourself. Okay, there's our bee. Adorable. And so that's gonna go on there like so. And then in our stamp set, we do have Love This Life. And I was thinking about doing that. If I could find my, I did have a white scrap. There it is. So I'm going to do the, let's see, so that is roughly 3 1/4 long, and it is about 3/4 of an inch high. So we're gonna cut this. Oh look, I already have a piece in here. We'll just cut this. No, that's shorter over here. So we're gonna do 3/4 like that. And how long did I say it was? I said it was roughly about 3 1/4. I think I'm gonna go to 3 1/2 just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room on that. And then if I need to trim it, I can do so. And let's grab our block here. My blocks need to go through the dishwasher. They are filthy. Okay, like that. And so I can decide, I think I might want to cut that out. So I know this one does not have a die for it, but you know what, we can just do a little bit of fussy cutting just to kind of cut around the edges of this to just give it a little bit of shape. I'm not the best at doing this, but you know what? I give it my best effort, and that's what counts, right? All right, like that. And I'm gonna pop that up right on the front of this little piece using, well, maybe if I can pull one of the right trinkets out of my hat here. Of course, it's going to be the last one that I grab because that's just the way things work. So using some of my mini dimensionals, like so. Okay, come on. All right, and then that is gonna go right like so. Love This Life. And then that is gonna go on the front of our card like that. So let's go ahead. Well, do I want, no. I was gonna say, I think I might want it popped up. Yes, I do. Okay, so we're going to add dimensionals. So we're gonna figure out how far up we want this. So about right there. So we need to come up to about the center of this. like that. Somebody the other day called these elevators, and I thought that's such a cute little thing to call these. They are, they're little elevators. Elevators, elevators. Oh no, that's escalators, escalators. My daughter watches SpongeBob, and one of the shows, one of the episodes, he runs around and he's like, escalators, escalators, escalators. That's what that reminded me of. Okay, so there is adorable card number 2. Isn't that just the cutest little thing? Now we do have some little yellow ones that we could use here. We could come back in with some of those. Now where did I put them? The petunia, but we have a lot of petunia on here. What color was that pink? Let me see. Hold on. Let me look at my back of my paper here and find out what color that pink is. That pink is actually Bubble Bath, which is not this color, but you know what? It's pretty darn close. We could probably get away with it because that's not it. And I don't think that one's not it either. But again, that would work. Any of these would work because this is, what is this? This is, which one is this? Because these are in colors. So why did I, oh, that's right, because we have, it is Bubble Bath. No, it's Pretty in Pink. That's what it is. But you know what? Who's gonna know? Is anybody gonna like shame us for using a different color? Actually, I'm not gonna put any on this just because we've already got so much busyness on here. I don't think putting any embellishments will make it. I think it's cute just the way it is. And then there's the inside, and then we again stamp to our recipient once we decide who this card is meant to be for. So that is card number 2. Okay, let me move it with my other one, so I will make sure to share it with you at the end. All right, let me find my last card stuff here. Okay, so let me pull all my pieces aside here because I've got craziness going on this one. Okay, so this one we're going to use a piece of Old Olive. This is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Now this again is going to be a landscape card, but we are going to do it with this other kind of shaped fold. So a lot of the time you'll see these as kind of a portrait style, but I'm going to turn it into a landscape. So it's going to open like this. All right. So we need that. Then our next piece that we need, I use some of that honeycomb. That's gonna go next. That's 4 by 5 1/4. Then my next layer is going to be a piece of, this is our vellum. Now what I've done with the vellum is I've come in, this is where I'm going to use those deckled rectangles. So I need to use, if I can get these out here. I've got a bunch of these in here. And they all layer, but I gotta find where the other one went. Oh, I think they're all there. No, I'm missing one. And it's, of course, the one that I need. Where did I put it? Ah. Oh, there it is. Whew. Scared the heck out of me. I threw it in the box over there to make sure I used the right one. So I'm going to use, it is the 3rd from the largest, to die cut my piece of vellum. When I do, I'm going to get, now I already pre-cut the pieces for this because this had quite a few layers. I'm going to get a piece just like so, that you can see that it's got a nice little detail around the edge, kind of faint, but it's still there. That's going to be next. And the size of that one, just to tell you if you want to not use a die, this is roughly 4 1/2 by 3. Just if you want to cut just a straight piece, if you're duplicating this card. Then my next layer is going to be a piece of that really cute honey jars. Now this needs to be the 4th from the largest. No, it's going to be the 3rd. So what was that one? Oh, that was the 2nd. So the vellum is going to be the 2nd largest. So hold on, let me tell you. That's going to be 3.5 by roughly 4 7/8 is the size of your vellum. And the piece that you need for your little jars is going to be the smaller one. That is going to be the 4.5 by 3. So we need to take that and die cut that. Once we do, we're going to get this piece here. So that is going to be my next layer. And then I have a scrap of the striped gingham print. I'm going to take that and I'm going to use the smaller of the 5 hexagons. I'm going to die cut that once from this. I'm going to take my inside and the frame. Again, I'm going to take the frame from this. I'm going to take the frame and I'm going to set it aside because I need this centerpiece. And then I'm going to do the same thing with a piece of black. I'm going to die cut it with that very same shape. When I do, I'm going to get 2 pieces like this. And this time I want to take the inside piece and set it aside. So I'm going to have that be framed with the black. I think that really makes that shape pop. Then from there, what we're going to do is we are going to cut. Now I did grab a piece of bubble bath for this. I'm going to stamp my wings on there. I'm going to stamp my wings. Let me get all my little pieces out here. I've already pre-cut everything to make life easier. So I need to have my piece of daffodil and a piece of the bubble bath, and then I need a scrap of the petunia pop. We have a solid little heart in here. I'm going to die cut that from my petunia pop, and as you can see, I've already got that piece right here. I've already got my little petunia pop from there. So there's that, don't lose that. And I'm going to take a scrap piece of black and I'm going to die cut the heart out of it as well. So I will have the 2 little hearts. Okay, on my bubble bath piece here, I need to take 2 wings of the smaller wings, stamp and stamp. I'm going to die cut both of those wings. When I do, I now have 2 little wings. Then on my bee, I'm going to take 2 of my smaller bee bodies. And we're going to stamp one facing the left, and we're going to take the other one and we're going to flip it, and we're going to face it towards the right. Okay, we're going to put 2 little faces in there. I'm going to do one little cutie face with the smiley, and then I'm going to do the other one with the little closed eyes right here. Okay, we're going to die cut those. When we do, we're going to get both of our little bees right here, and then again we're going to die cut 2 little antennae, which we have. I've already gotten those out, cut those out. So now what we're going to do is we are going to get our little bees constructed here, get them together. So now grabbing my wings, again, put just a little dab of glue on those. the wings. Let's do the antennae for this guy. Like so. Oops. And then we're gonna do this guy, or gal. And I will let you know that they do have a scrapbook workshop that is in this same paper. So cute. I have already put mine together and I've posted pictures of my completed, and I actually have a blog post about the cutest little bees on that. I can quickly grab it and show you really quick. I don't remember where, oh, there it went. Let me grab my scrapbook pages and show you really quick because they're sitting right here. Cutest little scrapbook pages. So not that I'm trying to divert from this card, but I do want to share this with you. This is called and you have so many leftovers in this. Some super, super cute paper in here as well. It's different from the paper that is on, in this paper pack, the meant to be paper pack, which is called the Cute as Can Be, is the name of the paper pack that I'm using for this. But this scrapbook kit is called Meant to Be Scrapbooking Workshop. It comes with sheets of stickers for you to, if I can get my hands around it, it comes with stickers for you to put on your projects, on your layouts. And then, so let me show you just really quick the layouts that you're going to make with this. So you've got these two. So I'll show you this one first. They're 12 by 12s. They even come with the little photo mat. And then here's the other side. So then you put 4 photos on that one. They show you step by step how to put your 6 pages together, but they're meant to be side by side. So it comes in here, it shows you how to cut all of your papers, what sides of your papers, because it does come with double-sided paper, and it does come with your two-tone paper as well. Like this piece back, this pool party piece right here, that is the background for my photo mat. It's that double-sided, so you can pick what side you want to use. This is a sticker here. So this one, you have another 2 big photos on this. Here's the other sheet. You've got this really neat little journaling that comes with this sticker. And then you've got 4 photos there. And then the other one is this great big 5x7 photo goes here. And then another little cute sticker. And then you layer your papers around. And then you've got this side, again, 2 more photos, and then the bees. So if you love this set and then you want to create the scrapbook pages as well, I highly recommend you, what am I stuck on? I highly recommend you checking out the Meant to Be Scrapbook Workshop. And again, they take all the guesswork out of creating those super cute, and you don't have to create them exactly how they have them. Once they're in your hot little hands, you do whatever you want to do with them. So if you already have an idea in your head of how you want those layouts to look, by all means, you make them your own. You paid for the kit, you do what you want. Okay, so this is going to go right on here. Okay. This, I'm going to put glue just right on the back because I already know that this is going to be covering the majority of that in the center. But I don't want to go all the way to the edges because I'm not sure if you guys can see through there, but you can see the glue lines behind that. But again, like I said, this is going to go on top of it. So you're not going to see a whole heck of a lot of that, but it's just another little detail behind it and a layer. So that's going to go right in the center of that. Okay. Then with my 2 pieces here, I'm going to layer those together. Now I can decide. Now how I'm going to do this to make these stick is I'm just going to come in here with a little piece of tape. And I'm going to just tape the edge to that center to keep that together. Like that. Okay, and then, well, I'm going to adhere that to my card base. I actually think I might want that popped up. So let's put another little piece of tape on this other side. Yeah, I do want that popped up. So I can actually use my dimensionals towards my advantage on these edges. I can actually push these all the way to the edge of that to hold those together. And then we'll do one right in the center there. Okay, and I'm going to place that right like so. Okay, then taking both of my little bees, I'm going to pop them up kind of facing each other. And I'm going to pop those up as well. Oops. So I just knocked my little bee antenna off. Now you need your things. You're going to fly into somebody if you don't got your antennae. Come here now. We've been watching, so back in the day when my kids were really young, we used to watch the original Dexter TV show. Well, now they've come out with the new one. It's called Dexter Resurrection, and I am absolutely loving it. And it's got so many actors in it. It's really kind of awesome to see all those actors come together for this new Dexter. Okay, so I'm going to go like that. And then I'm going to put a couple of these little hearts. Just like that. Because they are in love. So let me glue those down. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna glue them down. I was thinking I was going to pop those up too, but no, I want the bees to be the focal of popping. Okay, so just like that. And so now we can decide if we want to let that be. Haha, did you hear the pun there? Bee? I didn't mean that, but I can leave this alone and let that kind of just do its job on the front of this card. Or I can try to fit a sentiment over here. I think it might be a little too busy. I gotta find where my stamps went. Oh, there they are. I would like to put "We are meant to be," but I think it might just be a little too much on the front. Let me see. I mean, I could be wrong, because God knows I'm that a lot. I'll own it. Maybe we need, maybe. No, that's not gonna work. I was gonna say maybe we need but that's going to be way too big on there, so that one's not going to work. Let's see if the next size down would work. Okay, that would work, and I think that might just work. Okay, so let's do something here. Let's try it. Now, this bee does come with a full body if you want to stamp the inside of the body and then do the stripes on it. You absolutely can do it that way as well. I just I liked it on the solid paper. I thought it gave it a much better, crisper color. And it was a lot easier that way too. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I like it. Let's actually stamp. Let's stamp in our Petunia Pop for this We Are Meant to Be. Or should we do it in black? I don't know. Let's see. We Are Meant to Be. So I'm going to stamp that. And then let's see if this die is going. Oops, wrong one. Dang it. I keep grabbing the wrong one. Where did I put the smaller one? Oh, up here. Ooh, that will work. Okay, so I'm going to die cut it first, going this way, and then once I have it cut, I'm going to move this over. So let me show you guys. Let me get the mat here. Maybe. Oh, jeez Louise. So, let me show you. I'm going to lay this on my mat, and I'm going to move it all the way over to where I want it. I'm going to use a couple of pieces of my low tack tape. I'm going to cut this out. Okay, and I'll show you. So once we cut it out, we're going to pull this up. Maybe pull it up. Okay, set that over there. Then I'm going to take that piece off, just like that. And then I'm going to move that and put it towards the edge over here, letting that die kind of just fall into place on the back here. There we go. Kind of let that fall in. Make sure. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to cut off just that little bit on the side to give me that. Okay, where did I put it? There it is. Give me that decorative edge on the other side as well. I think I might need to cut a little bit more off. I think maybe I didn't put it over far enough, but we're gonna see here. Oh, I think that's gonna work, actually. Yeah, that'll work. And then that we are gonna put right down. See, I was afraid of that. I don't like it. Nope. Nope, we're gonna leave the front alone. We're not going to do that. So I was the magic word here. Let's grab an inside of our card. And we're going to put this little cute strip right here. Wait a minute, why do I have this strip? This doesn't match my paper. What am I thinking? That's not cute. What we need, actually, let me get it together here. I don't know what in the world, you know what? I think I might have had that piece for the other card, and I kind of mixed it up and put it in the wrong one. So let me find what I'm actually looking for here, because I want the beehive. I want the little hive paper. And now I have to find it. Because what side was the hive? Where is our beehive? Oh yeah, that's right. It's right there. So I'm gonna cut this at 1/4 of an inch. Or no, 1/2 inch. Okay, I need this at 5 1/4. So there's our little hive. We're going to add that. And I'm going to actually stamp that sentiment on the inside. Okay, so there's our little inside piece. And where did I put that? Was that the one that I want? We are meant to be. And I don't think I want it in the pink. Well, I mean, actually in the inside, no, I'm gonna go with black. I'm just gonna do it because we've got a little bit of black on here. That why don't we go ahead and carry that to the inside. I was gonna use my little piercing mat to make sure I get this down nice and crisp, but I think we'll be okay. Yep, that works. Voila. We did it. We did it. Okay, now we're going to move all this craziness going on here. We're done with those. Try to get everything somewhat organized here. Oh, you know what I am gonna do though? Haha. Because this does need some pink. Just saying. I'm gonna put some of the pink hearts in there. We gotta do it. It's just, well, they're not pink, they're petunia. We just need it. Oops. Do we need one more? I think we need one more, but I'm gonna put it right up here. There we go. Much better. It definitely needed that pop. It's called Petunia Pop, but it needed a pop of petunia. We're just going to take a play on words there, because why not? Okay, there we go. There's card number 3. Super, super cute set. What do you guys think? Do you already own this set? And now are you going to go have to play around and create these super fabulous cards? Because how can you resist? They're just adorable. Where did I put the other cards? Oh, they're there. So now here are, if you've already got this set and you've already played with it, well, here's 3 more ideas for you. Whoops, let's crease this down a little bit better. There's 3 more card ideas for you to have a blast with. I just love these super cute little bees that you get to build. And I mean, they're busy building their hives, but you're building them. So hey, it's a work in progress. So there is our fabulous little cards for tonight. I hope you love these as much as I do. Again, when you place an order with me of $35 or more in the week from August 4th through the 10th of August, you will get this card kit in the mail. Again, I will make sure that I include the pieces here that I have die cut with the deckled rectangles. Other than that, you will get the cut pieces that you will need, but you will have to buy the meant to be stamp set to create the exact cards as these. Okay, you guys, have a fabulous rest of your week. Again, sorry I was not live with you guys on Monday, but you guys understand life happens. So take care of yourselves. Love you all. Bye-bye.